To start off, I just want to say how humbled and honored I am to share the stage with so many great speakers. We have everybody from business professionals, college professors, former senators of Iowa, and current senators of Iowa. It's a great show. And then we have me, a high school student that, to be honest with all of you, hasn't done much in his life besides play basketball. Despite this, I believe that basketball has helped to teach me one of life's most valuable lessons. In society today, people avoid caring, whether it be about athletics, academics, other people, or just life in general. There's an indifference in today's society that's alarming. One reason people decide not to care is because caring is not perceived as being cool. What I mean by this is that the majority of people around us do not care, do not try, and do not put in effort, so that teaches us that caring is not the cool thing to do. Another reason people avoid caring is because they're afraid that they will put in all that time and all that effort and not get the results that they want. What's the point of these types of mindsets though? Why go through life not caring, not getting outside your comfort zone, and not trying, just to avoid being seen as uncool and just to avoid the disappointment of failure? My goal by the end of my talk is to have you realize how cool it can be to care. So, as I mentioned, basketball has been a huge part of my life since 4th through 5th grade. Looking at me, however, you'd probably never guess this. Obviously, I'm pretty short. I have average athleticism, to say the most. I'm definitely not the stereotypical basketball player. Behind me, you can see a picture of the varsity basketball team my freshman year. Looking at it, everybody's pretty tall, 6'2", 6'3", the stereotypical basketball player. And then you get to number 5. That's me. 5'8" on a good day. Despite all my physical shortcomings, caring about the game and putting in effort have allowed me to become a good player. My basketball journey started similar to a lot of other kids, on the playground. It was these games on the Northeast Elementary playground that first sparked my interest in basketball. But I think the one defining moment for me would be in 5th grade watching the basketball team make it all the way to the state tournament. From the perspective of a 5th grader, these players were incredible. I remember going to every single home game that year. I remember the packed stands every night. I remember the crazy student section. And I remember going home after one of the games thinking to myself, that could be me one day out on that court. So the following summer, I attended a Northeast basketball camp. It was a week-long camp, and on the last day, Coach gave out to every camper a workout packet full of the drills that he said he had the high school players do during the off-season. That was all I needed to hear. I took that workout packet home and did those drills every single day on my little cement driveway. Rain or shine, morning or night, I could be found out on that little cement driveway doing those drills. As you can see, my workout packet took quite the beating from all my little scribbles and all my sweat. So, obviously, when you practice anything, you get better. By the time I got to middle school, my ball handling had gotten pretty good.
Side to side scissors. Front to back. One high, one low.
That workout pack, however, was just the start of my obsession with basketball. It was my routine during middle school and high school to come in every single morning at 6 a.m. sharp. Every day, I'd be waiting outside the doors for the school janitor to let me in so I can get into the gym to play basketball. Over the years, a lot of kids ask me, why do you care so much about basketball? Why do you care so much about some silly game? A lot of kids my age, they just wouldn't do that. They'd be afraid of being viewed as uncool by their peers and their friends. They'd be concerned with putting in all that time and all that effort and not getting the results that they wanted. For me, however, those thoughts never crossed my mind. I knew that if I wanted to be like the players I'd watched in 5th grade, I had to put in the time, I had to get outside my comfort zone, and I had to care about basketball. So when you care about anything, as I do with basketball, you receive a thrill unlike any other when all that time and all that hard work pays off. For me, I think back to the way my junior season started. We were playing our conference rivals, and we knew it would be a great game. I'd been working out every single day in the fall, like I mentioned, so I knew I was ready for this game. I played, without a doubt, the best game of my life, finishing with 28 points, and most importantly, a win. To say I was happy after that game would be a traumatic understatement. The feeling that all my time and all my hard work had paid off is a feeling I can't even begin to describe, and I think it's a feeling that everybody should have the opportunity to experience in their life. It was that moment that I first realized how cool it can be to care. Now, I wish I could stand up here and tell you that every single game was like that. We won, I scored 28 points, but that's just not the case. Basketball, like life, is full of adversity. You win and you lose. For me, I think about the way my junior season ended. We were playing in the district championship, and we were playing a good team. I was so ready for that game, or so I thought. I played without a doubt the worst game of my life, finishing with only 2 or 3 points and 7 or 8 turnovers. It was a nightmare. After the game, I remember thinking to myself, why did I put in all that time and all that effort, and why did I care so much about basketball just to get that result? It was a frustrating time, and it made me realize why many people avoid caring in the first place. A lot of people, they just wouldn't put in all that time and all that effort to get that result. So my example is obviously a story of what it looks like to care in terms of basketball, but what does it look like not to care? A player that doesn't care doesn't put in any of his time during the offseason. He's not emotionally invested in the success of the team, and he just goes through the motions during practice. Like I mentioned, this player thinks he's being smart by avoiding all the frustration and disappointment that comes with caring about something, and perhaps this player thinks he appears cool to his friends and peers because it looks like he's not trying. However, could not be farther from the truth. This player is robbing himself of all the joy and all the satisfaction that he could experience if he chose to care about basketball. This player will always wonder, what if? What if he had chosen to care more? What if he had put in more of his time? How much better could he have been? And how much more joy and satisfaction could he have experienced if he had not been too cool to care? So, at this point in my talk, all of you may be out there thinking to yourself, is this just going to stand up here and talk about basketball the whole time? Well, as much as I may want to, and I definitely could stand up here for hours and talk about basketball, the purpose of my talk is much larger. Basketball, like all sports, is a parallel to life. The lesson that caring can be cool transfers from basketball to anything in life, such as education. The more effort you put into anything, and the more you choose to care about something, the better results you get. In terms of basketball, the more time you spend practicing, the better the games will go. In terms of something like education, the more time you spend studying or doing homework, the better the test will go, and the better you will retain the material. I'm really not up here explaining rocket science. All of the other speakers today have much more complex ideas. The concept that putting in more effort is what leads to greater results is no secret. It's simple. So what is stopping all students from applying this in their own lives? Laziness? Possibly. But I really think that this problem stems from the fact that caring is not perceived as being cool. Students are more worried with trying to appear cool in front of their friends than they are about caring about their education. Students, myself included most of the time, fail to realize all the benefits that come along with caring about your education. Caring about your education provides opportunities for a better future, makes your life a whole lot easier in college, and it just makes you a more interesting person overall. I'm not sure about all of you, but that sounds pretty cool to me. The question now for teachers or administrators is, how do we get more of our students to care? For me, I think that this problem starts and ends at the student leadership level, but I will offer a few teacher solutions that I think can help make caring cool. One reason that students decide not to care is because subtle put-downs made by their classmates. Imagine this scenario. A middle school student, let's call her Samantha, walks into her first class of the day with her homework all ready to hand in. It's obvious she put in a lot of time and effort into this assignment, and she cares about her education. When the teacher asks who got their homework done, only Samantha raised her hand. From the back of the room, one boy mumbles, "Try hard," and one boy whispers, "Suck up." How likely do you think it is that Samantha ever cares about her education again? And how likely do you think it is that she ever puts effort in her education ever again? Not very. You see, subtle comments like these, although they may seem small and innocent, and a lot of teachers let them slide, spread the message that caring is not cool. Another method to make caring cool again in the education system is through targeting specific students. As teachers, it shouldn't be hard to know who the leaders of your class are, the students that everybody follows. When these students talk a lot, others talk a lot. When these students are disengaged in class, other students are disengaged in class. And when these students decide not to care, the rest of the class follows suit. As teachers, if you can get through to these select group of students the benefits of caring and get them to realize that caring about your education can be cool, you will soon see all the others start to follow. The problem of caring not being considered cool is not just limited to the education system. It is evident everywhere in our communities and our society as well. People are afraid to make the changes that they want to see in their community because they're afraid of others viewing them as uncool. When you go about changing something, it shows that you care about it. People are afraid to make the changes that they want to see through action, so they resort to a much easier method: complaining. Complaining is far too common in our society, and I think a lot of it stems from the fact that we are too afraid to step outside our comfort zone and be viewed as uncool. When we get past this fear, great things can happen. Every single day, or each year, CNN does a program they call CNN Heroes, where they recognize and applaud community members that make a positive influence in their community. In 2016, one of their top 10 heroes was a man named Sheldon Smith. Sheldon grew up in inner city Chicago without a father, and he didn't want others to grow up like him. So he did something about it. He created a program called the Dovetail Project that focuses on helping and encouraging young fathers fulfill their responsibilities to their sons and daughters. Was this action outside of Sheldon Smith's comfort zone? Without a doubt. But he refused to let that fear stop him from making a positive influence. We can all do this in our own lives. I know each and every day here at Northeast, I see examples of students and faculty that choose to care and make a positive influence. It's the student stopping in a crowded hallway to help pick up another student's books. It's the guidance counselor that greets each and every student with a smile in the hallway. And it's the teacher that provides a safe space for students to hang out and just talk about their lives. All of these actions, all of these examples of caring are without a doubt cool. Like I mentioned, we can all do this in our own lives, in our own communities. Ask yourself these questions. What is something that you hate seeing in your community or in your life? What is something that you want changed? The answers to these questions will most likely require action that is outside your comfort zone. Do it anyway. Living a life inside your comfort zone, without caring, and without trying, because you're afraid of others being you as uncool, or you're afraid that you might not get the results you want, is a waste of time. Living a life without caring, without trying, is a life that will leave you full of regret. I hope you all realize now that caring can be cool, and I hope you all start taking the steps to make caring cool. Thank you.